Nothing felt terribly unusual when, on the morning of March 12, 2020, Governor Gavin Newsom called a news conference to discuss the state's response to the novel coronavirus that had begun spreading around the world and into our collective consciousness. Since the 1960s, governors have invited reporters to cover the news in that Capitol briefing room packed with narrow white desks and yellow fiberglass chairs. This day seemed no different. But as I walked in to take my seat that day, I saw signs that life was starting to change. 2/3 of the chairs were blocked off with signs saying practice social distancing, do not sit. I had no idea, of course, just how much more everything would change, nor did anyone know that this would turn out to be the last time Newsom held a news conference in that room, where 8 California governors have presented budgets, celebrated the passage of new laws and answered, or dodged, Rep. But as remote work became the new norm during the pandemic, state officials moved ahead with preparations for a long-standing plan to demolish half the Capitol. The wing that holds that press briefing room will soon become a construction site. It feels like a physical reminder of a thought that's recurred throughout the pandemic: some things will never go back to the way they used to be. And it set me reflecting on how much the pandemic has heightened my appreciation for the places that bring people together. The state capitol, in normal times, is a buzzing cauldron of activity. Politicians rush between meetings. Lobbyists swarm hallways hoping to get a word with a key lawmaker. Tourists snap photos with a giant bear sculpture in front of the governor's office. Protesters chant and wave signs. So much of that vanished during the pandemic. And now the place where it happened is going away too. The wing slated to be razed, known as the annex, is a boxy mid-century behemoth that was added onto the back of the historic dome 70 years ago. 6 stories tall, it houses offices of the governor, lieutenant governor and 115 of the 120 lawmakers. The others have offices in the historic wing. It's where Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger famously erected a smoking tent for politicians to puff cigars and cut deals. And where Governor Jerry Brown reviewed legislation with his pet corgis at his feet. Newsom installed a children's playhouse here to make it easier for his aides to bring their kids to work. In the 1960s, the Los Angeles Times reported, Governor